Okay, hi guys, welcome to the second video in my series of beginners tips for painting and preparing remote control car shells. I'm going to be working mainly on 1/12 Mardes bangers and stock cars, but these techniques can be applied to other scales of remote control cars and just general painting in life. Alright, today we're going to be focusing on doing a very basic bit of sign writing. It's not going to be detailed, it's not going to be airbrushed, it's going to be simple paint, old school, on the bonnet of this Ford Escort. We're just going to keep it simple. So that's the rules this video, keep it simple. Right, so last video, if you didn't watch that, we did this rust effect on the side of the car. It's not brilliant, it was, took me 3 minutes or something ridiculous, so you could spend longer and get it better. But if you want to watch this video, there'll be a link in the description. So click that and learn that trick of painting rust for cheap on cars. So get onto the equipment we're going to need for this video. First of all, you're going to need an old shell. Don't do it on a beautiful shell which you spent ages painting and you spent loads of money getting, fine masked lines. And don't, because if you're only starting out, it's going to be pretty rubbish. It's all about practice. You've got to practice, 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 practice. So you want old shells or even just a sheet of plastic. You can buy sheets off Keith, I think £3 for a big ABS sheet. You can practice on that if you want to. It's cheaper than shells. So there you go. Other than that, you're going to need 2 brushes. One which is very fine. This is a Pro Arte brush. It's size 10:0. It's got miniature painting written on it. This phone's going to struggle to focus on that. There you go. And the other brush you're going to need is a larger brush. So the small fine brush is going to be for outlining the designs and getting the detailed shape, and the larger or fatter brush is going to be used for filling in the gaps. So this is a number 4 round. So one thin, one reasonably fat. You're also going to need a graphic pencil or a pencil with a higher number and a B. So this is a 4B pencil, which means it's got a softer lead, which means the lead comes off more easily, and you'll understand why that's important in a few minutes. You're also going to need a sheet of tracing paper. Similarly, you'll understand why that's important in a few minutes. A pair of scissors, very simple, and some acrylic paint. I'm going to try and use acrylic paint in all of these videos because it's really cheap, it's really easy to get, and it's really easy to work with, and also it dries really quickly because it's water-based. You can wash it out of stuff, so it's all positives really. So a quick tip for acrylic paint: when buying acrylic paint, you want to have in mind that you're going to use 3 times as much white paint as any other colour. So say if you were buying one colour, you always want to have 3 times really, at least 3 pots of white in stock, because you're going to use that much more white than any other colour because it's used for base coats and it's just useful in general. You'll see more later. So right, as well as this, you're going to need a computer to design the graphic for the car. It's not complicated, you don't need fancy programs, you can do it on Microsoft Word. I'm going to be using Adobe Illustrator because I have it and it's useful, but by all means you can do it on Word. If you don't want to use a computer to design it, you can simply, with your pencil, just draw on the design you wanted. But if you don't have the drawing talents or the artistic flair and you want to guarantee that you've got the look of a computer designed Word done by hand, then I'm going to head down to the computer now. I'm going to take the camera with me, I'll show you what I'm doing, and then we'll be back up here and we'll paint it. Wicked. Okay guys, we're downstairs now on my computer. Sorry, it's not going to be a great shot of the computer, but I've got to be able to access the stuff, and also obviously I haven't got like an on-screen capture, so it's never that good filming a computer screen. But there you go. Right, so this is a blank document, Adobe Illustrator CS2. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the word, so we could type a word, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to open one I've already made. So I will go see if I can find one. Sorry, my stuff is in all a bit of a mess. So let's just do something. Just do something simple. Sorry about this. I'm going to add a bit of length to the video. There you go, here we go. So we'll just do my racing number. That's nice and simple. 360. So I've actually made a rookie error. So I'm going to pause the video because I forgot to measure the size of the area that I'm going to be sign writing. So I'll pause the video now, run up, get the measurements, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that, that was my mistake. So the size we're doing is 100mm wide, so that's 10 centimeters by 40 high, which is 4 centimeters. So we're just going to draw a box that size in Illustrator or Microsoft Word or whatever you're using, so that we can get the design we're doing do the right side. Sorry about face, but that's going to be bleeping around. Right, so we're not going to, we could stretch it to the height we wanted, but it would look ridiculous, so we'll leave it like that in the corner of our document. Right, the next step is very important to remember. You need to mirror the image. So if you imagine there's a mirror here, you want it to be flipped the other way. So I'm not 100% sure about how to do this on Word, but you could look it up on the internet and it'd be simple. But on Illustrator, it's just this one here. So it's the rotate, and you hold it down and click on this and mirror it like that. So it's from that to that, like that. Beautiful. That's all ready. So now we're going to turn on my printer up here. I'm going to print this out, and then I'll go back upstairs when it's printed and we can carry on. Alright, cheers. Okay guys, I'm back now. I've printed out the 360 here. Yeah, there. I've cut it out with my scissors, and now we need to get some tracing paper. Oh no, sorry, first of all we need to take some masking tape or any old tape and just quickly secure it down to the place that we're working, just at two sides. Then just go over the top, like so, and then get a bit of your tracing paper and just roughly cut it out to the size of this. So I just follow this line here and then go up there like that. Beautiful. And now you're going to take the tracing paper down as well. Use the opposite side. The masking tape seems to grip better. It doesn't grip very well to itself, so if you use the opposite side you have the other one. Taking the main logo down, it grips better and stays stronger. Right. Sorry for that waffle, that was really irrelevant. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to follow the lines round with your pencil, basically just tracing the letters to basically just tracing around the outside of the letters and the inside bits there. So I recommend a sharp pencil for this. My pencil isn't very sharp, as you can see, so I'll sharpen that. I will trace these letters, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Thanks. Okie dokie, I've now just traced around all the letters with the, or numbers, sorry, with the pencil. And now we can just pull away the masking tape. Like so, and you can see my tracings. And now the exciting bit happens, as when you flip the logo over, you can see now it's the right way around 360. And you might get an idea. So it's like carbon paper for when you get a tattoo. The carbon is now here, and we're going to basically press that design onto the shell as an outline and a guide for us to do it. So I'll take these masking tapes off and I'll stick it to the shell, and then I'll be right back and show you the next step. Okay, so now we have cut out the image a bit more, so the tracing paper is still up to there, but it's just easier that we cut a bit off top and bottom. We flipped it over and we masking taped it at the top and bottom again, right side up to the shell. I decided that I'd do it along the side where I've done rust instead of the bonnet, because you never really get a number on the bonnet, it looks a bit silly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pencil and we are going to again trace over the lines now that we've drawn, just like that, all the way around the letters, just like we did before. And then we're going to take off the tracing paper, and hopefully behind the shape of the letters will be there, which can be a guideline for when we're painting. So I'll pause the video again, I'll trace that, and I'll come back and show you how it's done. Okay then, so we've now traced the letters and peeled off the tracing paper. I hope you can see that. It is going to be quite hard, but there is a faint pencil outline now of the design on the shell. So finally we can get on to the actual exciting bit, the painting. So for the first bit of painting you're going to need your thin brush, and to save time in this video I'm just going to be doing these letters plain black, or these numbers, sorry if you can call them the letters, the numbers plain black, but I will be doing another video on showing you a more complex logo, or a word, so a name maybe, so for me Washo, or I don't know, Danza or Nick or whatever you want on the side of your shell. And so I'm going to now get my paint ready, and I'm going to show you, hopefully this will be the final pause before we've all finished and we have a lovely number on the side of our car ready to smash up. Okay, at last we are ready to paint. We've got our black paint already. It's just straight out of the tube, Mars black, but black's black, isn't it, at the end of the day? And this is the only bit which can be found challenging, to be honest. Like, this is where the practice comes into hand, because what we're going to be doing is, with our thin brush, is just following around the outside lines of the letters and numbers to get the outline done. So I'm going to start to show you what I mean, and then I'll pause the video. I will finish the outline of the letters, and then I'll come back. So just dip not too much paint on the end of your brush. Hopefully it'll show you that, about that much. So not too bad. And then just take the shell, and then just slowly and steadily to the line start just filling the outsides of the letters. So I'll just do this corner, but I don't want the video to run on too long, so just like that. And then I'll go all the way around and all the letters, and I'll be back ready to show you the absolute final stage. Okay guys, I've now finished the black outline. It may not look amazing at the moment, but in a minute it will transform. Make sure you really need to remember to wash out your brush, especially the smaller ones. They get damaged very easily, and when they damage and the ends start to fray, they're useless for what they're good at, which is small detail, and then you've got to buy a new one, and they're about £3-4 a piece. So right, the final stage, you get your thicker brush. This I'm using a number 4, and your black paint, and you're literally filling in the gaps. I mean, how simple is that? Easy mistake to make. Obviously don't fill in the insides, or not obviously, don't fill in the insides of the numbers. You can do that by mistake, just thinking you're filling in that gap, so be careful with that. Just go slow, so get a fair amount of paint. You can get more paint on this brush than the last, so about that much. And then just fill in gaps. You're going to want to do a couple of coats, so I'd say at least 2, maybe 3. Because you can see that one isn't covering. So we'll just fill in there, go down here. So by doing the outlines first, you could do it all like this, but that'd take real talent. So I'll just do this number 3. Like so, and obviously the coverage isn't very good because it's first coat. I'll pause the video, I'll do the rest, I'll do the other coats, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay then guys, at last the shell is finished. Not the shell, sorry, the number on the shell is finished. I did 2 coats on this. It could do a third, as you can see it's a little bit blotchy, but I'm going to leave it at this because the video is already too long. That's done for this number. I'm going to keep it like this. And then in the next video I'm going to show you how to change this basic number, which suits this shell with the rust. It looks old school, it's cool, you know, that is good. But if you wanted to get a more airbrush to world final style look without having to dish out 100 quid for the airbrush, just by using acrylic paints, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video. But as I said at the start, if you haven't watched the video before this of making rust, there'll be a link in the description. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you found it helpful. If there is other things you'd like to know how to do, or other ideas that you could share personally, then please leave a comment in this video or on the Facebook thread. Alright, cheers very much, have a good day, and I'll see you in a little bit.